everyone. This is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it here on Between the Lines? With gratitude or thankfulness. My preference is being thankful. And as I was saying off air to my guests that you're seeing on my other side, is it like that? Yes, on my other side. That it is such a glorious day and the light is streaming through the clouds. It's no longer doing that. Well, it is in a different kind of shifted. It's shifting a bit, but it is so beautiful. Just seeing the light streaming through the clouds, it looks heavenly. Yeah. So I am thankful to be able to experience that. So my guest, Arti Kumar-Jain. The last time we tried to do this, we had some challenges, technical challenges, and so we decided we're going to do this twice. Yes. And hope we don't have to do it thrice. So, so it's good to have Arti back again. And we're talking about being present in the moment. Let me tell you a bit about Arti. So Arti is currently the Executive Director of Diya Holistic Life Care and Founding Director of Love and Light for Kidz Limited Liability Company. She also serves as a consultant, contractor, and presenter. She has over 20 years of experience in the school setting as an elementary school educator, early childhood educator, tutor, and mental health provider. She's a certified health coach, a certified holistic cancer coach, and certified youth, family, parent, child coach. She believes in self-care for practitioners, relationship building, and linking mind, body, spirit for healing. She enjoys spending time with her family, which includes me, reading, being a better cook, nature, researching, and finding presence in the moment, which is what we're talking about today. And a little bit later, you're going to be seeing her website, and we're going to be talking about what she's giving away for free, what she's not, what are her services, and how you can reach her. So welcome, Arti, to Between the Lines.
Thank you, Corinne. I'm so
Yes.
excited to be with you again. It's always lovely to talk to you and your audience.
It's fabulous. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. And today we're talking about, oh my gosh, it's just gotten brighter. It's just gotten brighter. It's not showing on me because all the sun is shifting in the other side. So I'm not getting natural light anymore on my lovely chocolate skin or double chocolate skin. Double chocolate. I'm just layers. I'm just different layers. Yeah, I'm just different layers of chocolate. Can you imagine? I am so blessed to be different layers of chocolate. Oh my God. So being present in the moment, Arti, explain what that means so that persons can understand. Because the concept, I don't know if people read books, but I know that, what's this guy's name? Oh my God, it just went out of my mind. Wrote The Power of Now.
Oh, Eckhart Tolle?
Eckhart Tolle, yes. It was in my mind all along. So he speaks about the power of now, which is about being present. And there are so many other gurus, like Muji and a lot of others. I can't remember their names now. Spiritual advisors that speak to being present. I want you to explain to persons what does being present mean and what is the value of being present.
Totally. So, Corinne and everyone, it's really using our five senses. We're using our sense of sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste. So you're so present, focused. And remember, at times you may not get to use your sense of taste, but I'm going to use our present example of what Corinne was describing. She was describing what she felt, what you didn't hear a lot of hearing words, but what she saw when she was describing that light coming through and emitting its light through those clouds. So she had a visual experience. She had a, not that she touched them, but you could almost like I could almost feel like she was touching the clouds, right? Felt like that. And definitely, so that visual was a very powerful one for her, but she became so focused on that in that moment was her present moment. Right? She truly she took a halt and a stop. We were in a conversation. She literally felt the light emitting through and took notice. That's exactly what it is. I call it either a stop or a pause or a halt. in that moment where you can really use your senses to take in. Another example is, let's say you're eating an apple, but you're like not really savoring that apple. What would it look like when you're slowly peeling it and getting it ready? When you bite into it, you smell it. Every apple has a different scent. And when you take a bite in that crunch, when you are really utilizing your five senses to make meaning and to feel it and experience it. And then the word savoring comes in when you savor that moment. And that exactly is what Corinne did. She was savoring that moment, and then the light did shift, right? She described that. She could feel that shift happen. And the same example that I'm giving you with something like a piece of fruit, where you are able to truly enjoy it in a different lens. I work a lot with kids on mindfulness, and so we use fruit, for example, to really start learning how to use their five senses to start engaging in how to slowly and surely learn how to stay present focused. And there's a whole mindfulness has been around for ages, as Corinne was saying, spiritual gurus, spiritual leaders, but we now are understanding it more, especially because of all of the evidence that shows how the practice of being present, it helps our heart. So physical components of really helping our heart, because we slow down and become mindful. Studies have shown that the pulse is at a really good rate. People's blood pressure is great, and the anxiety that is reduced. Many people have taken over some mindful practices during COVID, and they have found some excellent results in being able to manage their feelings and their anxiety. So really, the definition is present focused, tuning out everything else. And if something does come to your attention and it's difficult to tune out, you just literally have something you say in your head, which is like called a mantra. You say something and you're like, wait, stop, Arti, I don't want to, no, we're going to focus, or whatever it is. You over time will develop, we have conversations with ourselves all the time. We all do it. You just become so mindful of what you're going to say to yourself, and you repeat. And soon it becomes part of your dialogue, and you will build that practice. Oh, Corinne, you're on.
Sorry, I am muted. I tell you, while you're talking, I'm there watching the clouds and the light. I'm listening to you, but I'm still taking it in, sweetie. But here's the thing, Arti, because you're an educator. I used to be a teacher, classroom teacher. I teach in a different level now. And listening to you, it took me back to the days as a young child. And we all go through it. The teacher's in the front of the classroom, and you are staring outside, especially if you're at a window, and you're lost in whatever it is that's happening. It might not be humans passing. It could be just your mind just goes somewhere. And the teacher picks up that you're not in class, you're not paying attention, you miss whatever. So, and she distracts you, cuts you off. Arti, focus. Arti, what are you looking at out there? Are you in class? I called you. What is the answer to the question? Break that. Yes, it's like a snap, and suddenly, you're jolted, literally jolted back into whatever you really didn't want to be in, the classroom. And it's not that you might not have been hearing the teacher, Arti. You might be hearing, but somehow your mind, it could have been a word he or she said that triggered you somewhere else. And she or he as a teacher is not realizing. You see, what I have realized has happened is that teachers, and I hope they're listening to this, and I'm not bashing teachers, I'm not bashing parents, because parents do it. Society do it. You bash the mindfulness, like you say, the being present, that ability to allow your mind to be free to, I wouldn't even say think, because you're not even thinking, You're not even thinking, because thinking to me is a process of logical sequencing, adding, subtracting, multiplying, shifting, putting the pieces together, and it's a whole lot of activity. You're not thinking. It's like you're floating.
You're totally right. It's a state of being versus a state of think. Right, you said it. Thinking versus
It's
being.
not, yeah, thinking versus being. You're not thinking. So you're in a space, you're gone. You yourself, not even realizing that your mind has gone somewhere, even though your body is physically in this time, in this moment. But your mind is in a different time. Your body is in this physical spot. They have actually crushed the potential of creativity,
Absolutely.
crushed it. And you know, somebody listening to this might feel, so how do you get the attention of the child in the class? The parent is saying, I'm talking to you. Aren't you listening to me? The child has perfected mindfulness. I have a friend who says she can zone out. She has children, and she said, Corinne, to the point, it is so dangerous. Sometimes she might be driving and she zones out on the road. You know, that you know, when you're with your kids and you're hearing them screaming, on normal people, let's put it like that, hear your children screaming, and they're like, yeah, aren't you hearing the child screaming? She has zoned out.
Yes.
She has that ability to just zone out and be in her own time and space, that she's not taking on who is screaming. You know, and I'm not telling anybody to practice that. I'm just saying it is such a, for me, mindfulness and being present allows a certain level of peace.
Mm-hmm.
It is soulful. It requires, I wouldn't say much concentration, but a lot of concentration will happen or will be required if you have a lot of chatter going on. If you have a lot of chatter, to quiet the mind. And it's hard, because I tell you, like for me, it's hard. Especially at night when I'm going to bed, it's like it want to replay everything and have the
Yes.
conversations and all of that. And I'll be like, hold up,
Mm-hmm.
everybody take time, one at a time. Now it's night. We had that during the day today. No, I don't have to think about you. I don't have to have these conversations. The day is over. Recognize that. No, this is the conversation I'm having with myself in my bed under the covers. We don't have to do this right now. Right now, let's just chill. Let's just,
Yes. And that's your part of your mantra. It may not be the same. This is what I'm trying to encourage people to realize. We do all talk to ourselves, and
yeah.
it's called, you have to, there's a lot of discussion of the monkey mind. Bringing the monkey mind under control, right? Is it's like we have, everything is a yin and yang. Even our brain has a right and left, right? So
Mhm.
how do we strike that balance with our
Yeah.
emotional self versus that logical, and you just have to help meet. And that's part of what makes us human, right? Otherwise, we share what, 99.7 or 8? It's a huge amount of DNA with chimps. So we're in that
Listen,
class of being animals, right?
listen. And the monkeys, they like to hang on and swing.
Yeah.
They love to hang on and swing, and they're not letting go. And from one branch to the next, Artie. So
Yes.
one thought come, and they're like, oh, here's another thought, swing. Oh, here's another thought, swing. No.
Totally.
Right? Because your mind is just constantly going. And I can't remember where I saw this, but somebody said something about 60,000 thoughts for the day. I mean, I don't know if it's 60,000 or 60 million, because let me tell you, in my mind, it feels like 60 million.
Yeah.
Thoughts are just running through that. Sometimes I don't even know, because they just move.
Yes. They just move.
But yeah, but to help me, and I don't know what your recommendations are for persons to start to be present because of the value it can bring to them. What I do is I eliminate TV from my life for some years now. TV and radio. My only electronic.
Wait, we have a radio station. What? I'm just kidding.
I know, right? What? Yeah, I know. But here's what. Here's what. My radio station is online, like your podcast, okay? And I could decide who I bring on my show, okay?
Choice. Okay.
I have choice. I could decide who I bring on my show, and I set the parameters of my show, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is not in the mix. I am not like traditional radio. I would have had to speak to the producer, the owner of this radio station, for them to tell me I can't say this, I could say that, I can't. I would have to have boundaries. I don't have that kind of thing here.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine, and I set what I want to do. I guess I set my own boundaries, but it doesn't put me in the mix of all the busyness happening around me in a traditional station.
Mhm.
So I do this, I communicate with people, I am very careful what I pour into my mind, meaning text, video, images, everything that comes into my mind, as well as the people that I have in my life, which is most important to me. The people,
Mhm.
okay? Because they are harder to get rid of in a way. They tend to be like the monkeys. So I have to get rid of them. So that is how I practice. I get rid of TV, radio, people, and I decide what I pour into my mind. Also,
Mhm.
my health, because it's mind, body, and spirit, like you say. So, what
Mhm.
foods I intake, a lot of water, things that would be nutritious to me, my mind, body, and spirit, with extra vitamins and minerals to keep my body, my immune system, because I'm coming against a lot of pressure as a creative person to
Mhm.
perform, to think, to produce. So I am very careful what I put in. Plus exercise and just, as you say, mindfulness. What I take in the morning, what I go to bed with at night, during the day, what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate. I don't know if these are some of the tips that you would advise, and if there's anything else that you would want to add to that in order to
Sure.
help, and especially now in the pandemic, like we were talking off air, how people are stabilizing given what is still happening with COVID, with
Mhm.
parents, children especially, because the children shouldn't be forgotten. We think because they're children, they're good. They're eating, they're sleeping, they're drinking. No, they don't have a problem, but they are the ones carrying a lot of stress. So
Yes.
how can we help them, the parents, the people at work? How? Tell us.
So first of all, Corinne, in your whole discussion, you're bringing up the idea of conscious. Is there feedback? Do I hear?
No, no, no.
Okay. Conscious. Just making sure. Conscious. A conscious way of being. And so that is exactly what you describe when you're saying I'm being conscious and conscious choice. I am being conscious of not allowing TV into my, because then I don't get to choose what comes on. Or I'm being conscious of the radio. I want that power of choice. So what I to start with the question of children, I think children, we need to have open conversations. I have found myself to be more open as a parent and as a mental health clinician about being so present with them and reality focused, because I don't think we get to decide what, as adults, we don't get to decide. We think we get to decide, but actually they're the ones who are deciding, right? Because we're building strong characters to take over and of course be that leading generation that's coming up. So it's a delicate balance that parents have to find, and one of them just it comes down to the power of choice. So letting them have even small choices, like for instance, a menu plan for the week, letting your child help maybe a menu, and then giving parameters like Corinne said, I set parameters around the people I let in. Same with the food. You can set parameters. These are the things that I'd like you to stay in, but letting them help design the menu.
Mhm.
You will find more success with them. A, eating the food that is being put out. B, it being more communal. Three, that child building that self efficacy. And I feel really good. I'm a part of this team. And remember, children often feel down here and adults are here with the power threshold, right? The power. We are trying to now build equilateral playing field. If there's anything we've learned in COVID, we're trying to build equity everywhere. This is not just
Yeah.
about race and culture, but also
No.
across socioeconomic, across parent child, across people. It starts in the home. Everything starts in the home. So parents, I would highly recommend you start with small, simple choice giving. I've just in every field I have seen the importance of person centered comes down to choice giving. Even in health coaching, I can no longer tell people what to do. You can't just tell people what to do. They'll do it for you, but it's not internal, right? The goal is to build internal internal, so that we can be the best selves possible. And that actually comes from the gift of choice for children, starting to do that. Parents, for you, the importance of being present in the moment is also being mindful of your feelings, because it's a lot of stress, right? It's a lot of stress when you have in the last year carried more hats than ever and in different capacities. And most humans don't like change. And there has been exorbitant amount of change in this past year. But the thing is, you become so humble with yourself in the sense that when you are tired, you just and I'm learning this too, you just let the work go, right? You are not expendable. Your work is. Okay?
Yes, I like that.
You are not expendable. I often find that we think that our job or our work is but the next day it'll be there. Your pile of books is still going to be there, your pile of papers, right?
Yeah.
And so that fact, I really want to remind you, if you're tired, just take the rest, and then slowly releasing the guilt. Guilt eats parents alive. And the thing is, if you feel like you're trying your best or could have done better, then also apologize to your child if you made a mistake. When you're calm, when you calmed your nerves, when you've taken some space, if you're really feeling heightened, and if you did something that you feel not so good, apologize, and you'll build that relationship with your child and your family. Also to your spouse, if you're married, that forgiveness, apology factor, when you're ready and it's meaningful from your heart, go ahead and give it, because you will see shifts happening where everybody then feels like, okay, all right, I had some strong feelings. I didn't deal with it really well, but I'm ready to be present now and apologize. And I'm telling you, it starts to change the dynamic for the whole family.
Yeah, that takes a lot of strength, Arti.
It does.
To be able to apologize to first to begin, you have to accept that you were wrong.
Yes, yes, it is multi-step, Corinne. You're absolutely right, and I don't want to minimize that. It's all skill-based. It takes time, but the awareness to know that it can actually provide a lot of change.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And change not only for the family dynamics, but for you as an individual, to recognize that you see yourself, you are not infallible, you can make mistakes, you're not the parent, condescending over, and you have to follow what I say, which is the programming from yesteryear that needs to stop. Because you can learn a lot from your children. That is why they came, to teach you something.
Absolutely. We learn from each generation. We learn from our elders. We learn from people. And we learn. It's a timeline of life, right? And being present in the moment means, again, whoever's in front of you, or if you're by yourself, you stay so present, focused so if you are tired, that's what I'm trying to get at, being mindful. I am tired. So you got the work is a separate issue. I am tired. My emotional state is tired. I need to go ahead and rest. It's cause and effect.
Yeah, and that has happened to me even today. I mean, I felt tired. I'm like, oh my God, I have things to do. But then I said, hell, I need to rest. And that's the end of that discussion. I need to rest, and I'm going to rest. There's nobody here making me feel guilty. Everything is going to get done. And I mapped it out in my head as that kind of person. And I said, okay, at this time I have this. I could get that done after this time. And I could do this after this time. And I could maneuver this. And hello, we are here now. And everything is okay. Nothing has fallen apart. The world hasn't ended. I got my rest. I'm good to go.
Yes. There's a reason they say not to sweat the small stuff. And what small stuff means is like we do tend to catastrophize as humans. Like
catastrophize, I like that.
Like everything becomes like magnified. And so the things we can minimize, then we have to learn, again, monkey mind, like you were saying, branches. You have to take those small little annoying habits that we each possess, and then we just bring it down a notch to the smaller branch.
Yeah. As you talk about that, I remember, I don't know, the imagery came in my mind of you feel something is so big, and then when you start to talk to it, it just comes right down to the little listing. When you feel it's overwhelming you, it's standing over you, the more you face it and the more you're like, okay, and you have that conversation, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you realize, oh, that's you in actuality. You're really that tiny.
Totally.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Corinne, that brings me to the idea. We talk a lot about anxiety, especially in COVID. Well, actually, anxiety is the driving force. I had a professor, I'll never
Mm,
forget. He said, anxiety is the driving force of life. What he meant to say was, and I understand his words now, that that is the tool that we actually use to better ourselves, to make
mm,
decisions, to be mindful in the moment, to go and move forward. And it doesn't, when, of course, anxiety can take over your life, then it's an issue that needs intervention. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
healthy amount that drives us to do better, to do things. That's
Hmm.
also being mindful, to listen to our anxious moments and what we choose to do with them.
Yeah. And you keep using that word from the beginning to end, choice. It's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to
Choice.
realize we all have a choice. You can choose where you channel your energy. You can decide
Mm-hmm.
to channel it into something negative and work up yourself about it, or into something positive and just be calm and still about it. It's a choice. Okay. And if
Choice.
there are two people or multiple people in a conversation or interaction, and you feel the energy coming across you is negative and not healthy, you have a choice to leave that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You have a choice to not be a part of it anymore. You don't have to stay there. There's nothing obligating you, gone over your head. You're going to lose something if you don't stay. To be part of that energy that's not good for you, you can walk away. And it also includes a conversation on the phone. Somebody starting to talk negative and you don't like the way how it's going, you can come off that conversation. It's your phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
do. This is a lot of taking ownership in the
yeah,
choice and to feel empowered to know that we do have the power of choice, whereas so many do not, right? So then
yeah.
I feel like if you have this privilege of choice, then don't take it for granted to be present
That's
focused,
right.
because some people do not get the privilege. This is a privilege to even have this conversation, to even think in the dimension of mindfulness,
That's
right? You
right.
have to think of those populations that don't even get a chance.
Oh
It's a
yes. Oh yes.
privilege. It's a
But
privilege.
the power is within each one of us. It's not to say
Mhm.
somebody could take it from you. It
Mhm.
is within each one of us. I want to
Totally.
showcase your website, Arti. I remember the time we spoke last time. Your initial website, it was under construction. So the other one that you sent me is still operational or has things
Yes,
changed?
yes. The Love and Light for Kids is operational for those,
Okay.
and yes.
Let me see if I can do that quickly here and bring that up. I think I have. Wonderful. Yes. So let me see if I can share that quickly. There we go. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Yes, we're all in it together. Isn't that the truth?
So
Yes.
honestly, Corinne, I had come up with we've been talking about all in it together. This is prior to COVID when I had designed this website. So yeah.
That's all right. That's okay. We're still all in it together.
That's
We're
what I'm
all in
trying to
it.
say, right? We're all in
Yeah.
it together. But
Yeah. We're all in it together. So you have coaching, educational support, tutoring, workshops, seminars. How can
yes.
persons contact you? I'm not seeing a contact. Let me see.
Oh, it's
Contact.
up there. Yes, contact.
Mhm. So persons can contact you here. All right. And you have your own podcast, which I want to showcase here. Let's have a look. I'm going to click on it.
Oh, this
Love
one
and Light.
was my old, yes. This one was my old one with 2 3 minute little tips that I give to parents. 2 to 3
Yes.
minute little um
They can still check it out. They can still check it out because I'm sure the information is still relevant.
yes, for sure.
Yeah. And if persons want to book a time with you, they can do it here. And of course, follow you on Instagram and email you or call. And of course, they can
Yes,
always send a message.
send a message for sure.
Yeah. And let's see what's going on in the
Yes.
umbrella. Yes. Isn't she just awesome? Look at that. And a lot of hair too. See?
I know, a lot of hair. I get that every time I go to the hairdresser. My gosh, you have a lot of hair. I was like, well, I
That's
know.
why I'm here. That's why I'm here because I have a lot of hair. This is the
Don't you
hair.
do a lot lighter? Then they'll ask me, or do you feel lighter now? I'm like, yeah, actually I do. For now. So.
All right. I want you to give me the link to your new podcast. What is the link to? Let me see if I can bring it up.
Oh, okay, sure. So if you go under www
Mm-hmm.
dot 4cs.
Four is in the number four.
Oh yeah, sorry, the number 4cs
Uh-huh.
.com. Let me see if
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Oh no, I
No.
told you the wrong one. Okay, can you do Talk for Media? So TALK
Mm-hmm.
for media.com.
I see something happening
Um,
here.
yeah, it's a
It's
little
taking
slow to
some time.
load. It might come up on
Mm-hmm.
radio and TV. Oh, there was okay.
I'm
No,
seeing
this is
something
not
churning
going.
there. I'm kind of scrolling through to see what's happening.
Yeah, it should come up, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Can you scroll? But is it not on here?
Scroll on the radio and TV.
Oh, can
No,
we?
oops.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There we go. Where did you scroll? Yeah, can you go down to?
Which
Where's
one?
talk for? Oh, let's try talk for podcasting. Oh no, there it is. Talk. Oh, sorry. Can you go back? I'm sorry. All over the place. Can you go back to talk for? It says W4HC radio. Can you go back up there?
It's taking a while. No, it says having
Oh,
trouble
why is it?
finding me.
Oh, that's probably what's happening. But that is the way to get in. www.w4hc, which stands for Health Channel, or you could go under the Cancer Support
Yeah.
w4cs.com.
I don't know what's happening, but this is where it is. So persons can go check it out. Nice. Nice. At least persons are guided. And if anything, they can reach out to you
Oh, for sure.
privately.
For sure. And I
Privately.
just
So that should.
want
Mm-hmm.
to remind everyone, it's a lifelong journey and it starts. I think we always want to go. I know we all want it right away, fast, quick. This is not a quick process. It's called living. So just stay
That's
humble
right.
with yourself. And presence means like savoring. Like savoring's my bit. If you're going to have the piece of chocolate, enjoy that piece of chocolate, right?
Listen
Savor
to
it.
me. That is such a wonderful thing to do. When I heard you speak about it earlier, I encourage people to do it. And when I'm eating, I tell persons I don't like to eat and talk. I don't like anybody calling me at that time. I just like to sit alone and enjoy my meal. Even if I'm at a dinner, I don't want to be talking. I just want to enjoy the meal. I want to smell. I want to look. I want to taste. I want to take every bite. I want to. Am I chewing on my right side or on my left side? How many
That's
times I chew to swallow? How did it taste? Did it take me back to a memory? Is it making me feel like I'm in Paris? Is it,
You've got it, girl. That is exactly what conscious mindful eating is. That's the best
yes,
example. When you have literally soaked in and indulged that food and then feeling the gratitude of being able to have that meal, right? And then
that's
allowing
right.
yourself to be mindful.
And then
Yeah.
having a glass of wine, I actually take my glass, I look at the glass, I smell the wine, I take a sip and I allow it to just move around in my mouth and my tongue. And I'm like, this feels good. I feel it go down my throat, down into my chest. Then I probably might feel it hit the back of me, depending on how strong. Is it burning my chest? And I'm like, oh, this is probably too powerful. Or yeah,
Yeah.
I feel real smooth about this. Yeah, this is cool. I could have another glass, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. People don't understand. They're like, I have another meeting. I need no. You're gouging down your food like a wild animal, and that just
This is a whole separate conversation, but I would tell though when you are in work, then it's best to do things like smoothies and for those
mhm.
meals because it just causes a lot. You can see people with
Yeah.
acid reflux, like all of these issues. It need to have
Yes,
a little bit of a liquid diet
that's
for those kinds of schedules.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I really, It's nice. And I believe in setting a table, a nice table, the same way how you would go to a restaurant in your home, set it
Yeah.
out, the glasses, the everything, and light a candle and just create that ambience. I just love that. And it could be a scented candle. It doesn't have to be like those dinner candles are scented. So you have an aromatherapy going on at the
Yeah.
same time while you're eating. Oh, I love lavender. I
I
have one. I
love
need to
that
be
you
doing
said it. Creating environment is mindfulness. You create a
yeah,
moment in the moment, right? And it just
yeah,
becomes so much so when you are doing that environment.
yeah, yeah. I think we have shared so many tips here, and I hope persons can see the value, or even if they can't see just by us sharing our experiences, they can feel a difference, which is what mindfulness is about. It's a feeling. You can feel a breath of fresh air, a calmness, a peace, a stillness, just from the way we share things, so that they can take it up. And you don't have to take up everything all at once. It could be one at a time. Baby
One at
steps,
a
one at a time.
time, baby steps. Like it's
Yeah.
spring now, maybe you want to really take in like the gardening is such a
Yeah.
mindful activity. Go for it. Plant your garden.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
it's buying a plant and adding it to your own home ambience, would you make that plant selection? Enjoy that process of being mindful to say which one is going to fit my house, right?
Right.
So just using the seasons also to be mindful, you will see a shift. Why we don't have to wait till Christmas. You
I
don't
know.
have to wait till Christmas to feel uh, happiness and joy when the actual heavens above or whoever God, whatever you believe in, designed us to be so present, focused, and love with our life and
Yes.
what we've been given that it's present.
And you can see more light is coming in on me directly. You see,
I
I'm
see
looking
it
like a ghost.
actually.
I'm
I
telling you,
mean,
look.
I know, y'all. Look, if you
Yeah.
can't tell me, that's oh my God, that's like the light emission.
Yeah. This is awesome, isn't it? I tell you, the light is
Oh
directly
my
on me.
gosh,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
It
And
is.
for you
And
to have started this conversation and just pulled into that tells
yeah.
you what presence can do. And now
And
look at what's happened to the light.
I'm going to be stepping out fully in a little while, as soon as I'm done with you, which is now. So
Yes,
I am going to take it all in, Artie, and I'll be thinking about you. Don't worry. I'll be
you
thinking
as
about
well.
you while I'm taking it all in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Artie, it's been a pleasure. It's great doing this again. I think we had a wonderful time, a better time than the first time. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Technical difficulties and all, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for being on Between the Lines. It's been a
Oh my
pleasure.
gosh. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.